Hello and welcome to the knee and ankle mini mobility class. Today we're going to be working on some rotation of the knee. We're going to do some ankle cars while holding a hamstring stretch, as well as work on what's called dorsiflexion or pulling toes towards the shin during our pails rails, which we are going to need some sort of prop today. So you can use a bench, a chair. I'm going to use a stool today and I'll show you that position just so you can get prepared. So I'm going to be up on the stool in this position. Again, you can use a bench and you can stand up, but you want to be able to lean your body weight on your thigh and basically be able to drive that knee while the foot's fully in contact with something. Okay, so find whatever works best for you, whatever you have around, and that's what you'll use today. Otherwise, the exercise will be the same for everyone else. And then at the end, we'll finish with that same ankle car in the hamstring stretch and kind of feel out the difference as we go through it. Okay, so without further ado, let's start off with tibial rotations. So just like in the assessment video, we're going to grab our arms, sweep it underneath into that rear naked choke, grab onto the bicep, and we cover the tibial tuberosity. So to review, it goes kneecap, softer spot, that's your tendon of the quads, and then that's going to insert into your tibial tuberosity, which we want to have as our reference point as we want it to basically scan the room. So as we go through that rotation, you should feel it slide to the inside and outside. How we're going to limit the ankle is we pull our toes all the way up towards the shin, practicing our dorsiflexion for later. And then we're going to use that bump again as a reference point as we rotate each way 5 times. So as you go to the outside, keep trying to squeeze more rotation, but not by just flopping the ankle out. And then same thing to the inside. Try to rotate a little further without that ankle getting involved. And then we're going to go side to side there. All the way out. All the way in, squeeze. Good, we'll go one more each direction before checking out the other side. Again, this is a good time to check in. Does one knee rotate better than the other, especially with a past of any ACL or ligament injuries, meniscus injuries to your knees? You should be aware of rotation because a lot of the times those injuries happen on a plant and rotate. So we need to own the control of rotation in our knees. Okay, so again, I got into the chokehold grip. I got a little ahead of myself. Cover the knee. Pull the toes towards the shin. We're going to rotate to the outside and then the inside. Ooh, pop. Funny enough, this is the knee. If I'm going to feel any pain or discomfort, left knee is usually the one, and I find it can sometimes make some noises at me when I do some rotations. But yeah, just some little bits of information to kind of relate to you guys of, how does your body feel when you go through these motions? You're always kind of checking in. I think that's one of the biggest benefit of CARS is just learning about your body, which is why that assessment chunk in the program is so important. Okay, now that we've done 5 each side, we're going to go into our next one, which is going to be an active hamstring stretch with an ankle car. So the first part of the active hamstring stretch is we're going to grab onto the back of the leg. Other leg's going to go straight. We're going to start by curling the heel into the butt as hard as you can, so you should actually feel the hamstrings pull and contract. From there, we're going to straighten out the leg, find a position that you can get the leg all the way straight, and from there, we're going to go through our ankle car. So, gas pedal to start. We can roll the foot in, pull toes towards the shin, foot out towards the side. As we go back to the gas pedal, we're going to come back the other way. After that half rep, pull toes towards the shin, roll the ankle, point the toes, relax the foot, and then we're going to go back into that active curl of the hamstrings, feel them contract, before coming back up into that straight leg position. If you find you can't quite get your leg straight, grab a little bit lower on the thigh, allow it to drop. If you find it's too easy to get your leg straight, grab a little higher, pull it in further. So you might end up in this position if you're really flexible, but find a position where you can just straighten your leg and you feel a light stretch. As we go into that second ankle car here, pulling toes towards the shin, roll to the outside. There's our half rep. We're going to come back to where we came from. Toes towards the shin, roll across the top, roll the ankle, point the toes, and then actively curl that the heel into the butt using the hamstring. After 2 repetitions there, we're going to go over the other side. Curling heel into the butt, straightening the leg out, and then we go into our car, pointing the toes, we wrap around, toes towards the shin. The stretch usually increases during that. That is normal. As we get to that half rep, we're going to come back the other way. Toes towards the shin. And after that one full rep, again, actively curling, heel towards the butt, squeeze the hamstring, try not to cramp it. And then we straighten the leg back out. Go through our ankle car one more time. Watch out for any spots you kind of want to speed over. We want to try to keep one smooth cadence throughout the entire ankle car. And being aware of closing angle pain. So if you do feel kind of that pain or pinching, just back off a little bit. You don't have to force through that range of motion. In fact, I'd recommend against it. After that active hamstring stretch, there we go. We're going to go into our dorsiflexion pales rails. So dorsiflexion, again, is pulling toes towards the shin. It's an action incredibly important for our squats. And walking, going up and down stairs, things that we do in daily life as well, not just in training. So we're going to find our stool, our bench, maybe the commando squat if we're comfortable there. But the stool or bench is going to be your best option. One foot is up on there. And then we're driving the knee basically over the midfoot. And as far as you can until you hit that block where your heel wants to peel up. That's going to be our kind of our passive range. You can use your upper body, kind of lean on that leg to give a little bit of overpressure. And we're going to hold this position for 1 to 2 minutes. As we hold this position, I am going to go over your pales and rails contractions. Don't do them quite yet. Wait till I give you the cue to start, but I will show you what we're going to be doing in this position. So the first one is going to be using the toes and the forefoot, so the front of our foot, to basically push up into a calf raise like action. The only difference is it's going to look something like this. It's going to look no different. Just the intention is different. We're using that foot pushing up like we're going to do a calf raise, but because our body's leaned on our thigh like this, the heel's actually not going to come up. Our rails contraction is going to be pulling the toes towards the shin and pushing the knee further forward. Okay, so that's going to be pulling us deeper into the range of motion. Our pales, right, that first contraction, should feel muscles in the feet and then up the back of the leg start to work. In your rails, you're going to feel muscles on the top of the foot and the front of the shin start to work. So now that we're getting towards the end of our passive hold here, we're going to start by putting light pressure through the toes and the forefoot like we're going to do a calf raise. And then we ramp that tension up over time. We go 20% of our max effort, 30%, 40, 50, 60, 70. If you feel any pain or discomfort, stop there. If not, we're going to keep climbing. 80%, 90%, 100%. Our greatest, safest effort for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now start to transition. We pull toes towards the shin, pull ourselves deeper into that stretch. Now you're feeling that stuff on the upside of the top of the foot as well as up the front side of the leg. Feel that all that stuff burning for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and deep breath in through the nose. Slow exhale through the nose as well. Try to find comfort in this new position. If you do get any cramping, just back off a little bit. Find your position that you can. Okay, we're going to go into our second pales contraction here. So starting to push through the toes, going up into that calf raise-like contraction. Again, you'll notice nothing looks different. Just the intention, we're trying to squeeze the bottom of the foot, the calf muscles there, really get the most out of this as we're ramping our tension up. We go 40, 50%, 60%, 70, 80, 90. Greatest, safest effort here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now transitioning into that pull toes towards the shin, knee driving forward. Feel all that stuff on the front now starting to burn as we go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Deep breath in through the nose. Slow exhale. And we're going to slowly come out of that. When you spend a lot of time in that position, you do want to come out slowly so that you can let your body kind of feel that change. We'll transition into the other side. So other foot's going to come up onto our prop, whether it be the stool, the bench, the chair, whatever you found works best for you. But again, we want to be able to load that front thigh, have the foot in contact with whatever we're on, and be able to lean over it without too much effort, because we are spending a fair amount of time as we start our passive hold once again. The reason why we do a passive hold at the beginning is to kind of spend time in a position so our body has time to adjust. If we're just there for a second, it doesn't know that we want to be able to hold that position or use that position. But as we spend that kind of 1 to 2 minutes plus our contraction time, so it ends up being 3 or 4 minutes in a position, we're basically telling our body, hey, I want to learn this position, I want to be able to use it. Then we use our pales and rails contraction to actually show it how to use it. Then we start to adapt to that new position and we earn our range of motion. That's why pales and rails and cars they're hard work when they're done correctly, because we're earning the trust of our body to get into positions we want to be able to use in our sports, activities of daily living, or just for fun. So as we're getting to the end of our hold, we're going to start to ramp up our tension. So pushing through the toes, the forefoot, like we're going to do a calf raise. We start with a small contraction and build up in intensity, 20%, 30, climbing to 50, 60, 70% of your max effort. Maybe some shaking starts to happen around 80, 90, our greatest, safest effort here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly relax there. Now we transition, pulling toes towards the shin, knee drives further forward. Keep driving into that, pulling the toes up towards the shin as hard as you can for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Deep breath in through the nose. Slow exhale. And we'll start our second round. So again, start pushing through the toes into that calf raise like action. Should feel the muscles along the bottom of the foot, up the back side of the leg, starting to work as we ramp that tension up, getting a little bit more intense. Always respecting our limits though in terms of closing angle pain or kind of that any tearing sensation in the muscle. Want to back off there and work with our greatest, safest effort here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to relax the foot and knee. Now start to pull toes up towards the shin. Drive the knee forward as you go further into that range of motion. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Deep breath in through the nose. Slow exhale as well. And we'll slowly back out of that position as well. We're going to finish up today's class by going back through that ankle card. This time we're just going to hold the top position of the hamstring stretch. As we come onto our backs here, we're going to straighten that leg out. This time doing 2 circles in one direction, 2 circles in the other. So we'll start with that gas pedal, rotate the foot in, Start pulling toes towards the shin. Rotate the foot out. Keep going in that same direction. Seeing if we feel any difference as we come across that dorsiflexor, pulling toes towards the shin motion. Now we'll go the other way. Again, trying to keep that same consistent pace as we circle around the car. And then we'll come down and go over to the other side. Find a position where you can straighten out that leg. We're going to go into our gas pedal. And again, 2 circles in one direction. Getting that slow, smooth cadence. Maybe the ankles are a bit crunchy, we'll go the other direction. Especially if you've had any previous ankle sprains, expect there to be some clunky spots or some clicking. That's relatively normal, we just don't want the pain associated with it. And if there is, just back off the end range. So let's say if I'm coming around here, that's where I feel the pain. I'm just going to do a little bit less and see if I can work within that range. Okay, so worked on lengthening the hamstrings a bit, being able to pull our toes further in, which again is going to translate to walking, running, going up and down stairs, and even squatting. I hope you enjoyed the class. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out at Freedom Peak Performance on Instagram. Have a great day.